everyone, welcome back to Cold Country Homestead and the third week of the Pantry Challenge. Today is Sunday and tonight I am making biscuits and gravy. Tonight I am making biscuits and gravy with sausage gravy, bacon, and eggs. And yes, it's for dinner. Breakfast is one of our family's favorite meals. So breakfast for dinner, there's no rules, right? We did record another video yesterday for Saturday. So if you are wondering why there's a day missing, I will link that other video below. But that was just myself and Zachary, and we had the kibasi potatoes and green beans that I previously canned. And I have a timer going. So we are about to jump into this, and I have quite a bit of spices here that we're about to put in that pan. So let's do it. For our gravy, we are going to spice it up. Some of the things that are going in there are milk, flour, thyme, rosemary, garlic salt, butter, crushed red pepper flakes, ground black pepper. This is our hot sauce. This is our Aji Cristal. Now, when I made this before we had our own hot sauce, I used to use Tabasco. So if you're looking for something to substitute, that would be it. And then our Worcestershire sauce. So this is how we are going to season up the gravy. In the spirit of using up all that I have on hand, I had some Grands biscuits in my fridge that were about to expire. And with it being the pantry challenge, it was the perfect time to use them. My trick always to having Grands biscuits taste delicious, and I mean, they're not bad, so as it is to brush them with butter before putting them in the oven. And I always give them some time to sit and warm or rise, however you'd like to call it, before getting to this step as well. So this is just my Lodge cast iron pan, and we are putting this in. And if you have store-bought biscuits on hand, why not use them? I'm all about making life simple and balanced. Not everything needs to be homemade. So if you have it on hand, use it. Our pan is already hot. Into this, we are going to put our sausage. We are going to chop, chop, chop. Now this guy is a Pampered Chef item. I love this. I've had this forever. Now I like to get my sausage almost just about cooked before throwing in my onions. So we are going to throw in the onions now and sweat that down. Okay, so we got it browned up pretty good. We're going to go pretty quick now. So in here, you're putting our butter. I find that the sausage that I use is pretty lean, so I add some fat here. Give that a second to melt. And the reason I do this right in the middle here is I want all of that good fat to help activate my herbs and spices that I put in. So we have thyme, rosemary, red pepper flakes, garlic salt. You can use garlic and salt separately if you like, but black pepper, And this is the start of it. This is always the base of mine. And see, I'm incorporating everything now that I got the nice fat on the herbs and spices. I'm gonna incorporate it all. Now it's at this point that I mix in my flour, because we want to cook the flour off. No one wants gravy that tastes like flour. And Worcestershire. Now, I measure my Worcestershire with my heart. I'll put some measurements in the recipe, but you got to make it to your taste. Mix that all in. And right when you start to see a little bit of stickage there, that's when you want to mix in your milk. So we're going to do that. And we start, again, I'll have in the description a recipe for you. I'll have in the description a recipe for you, but this is all going to be to sight, to taste, to have a final product. But this is how I make my sausage gravy. And once I get the milk in here, then I am going to let this cook down a little bit, and I am going to put in the hot sauce. Bacon is looking good. And this is a trick that I have found over the years, especially with cooking for a big family all the time, is to make it in the oven. This is a no-fail way of making bacon. I put it on at 400 degrees and check it regularly. And by rolling and twisting your bacon like this, you're able to put more on the pan and never waste that bacon grease. You can always use that to cook with. Espresso with dinner? Someone's going to be up all night. This is what it looks like when you're allowing a sleepover. Thankfully, there's no school tomorrow. Now, the best eggs are always cooked in bacon grease, bacon fat. Don't waste that liquid gold. Look at that. Delish. Ooh. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I'm so sorry. This pepper is waiting patiently to get some treats. Not stepping a paw in the kitchen, but still watching.
Well, it looks amazing for one of my favorites for sure. It's delicious.
1 to 10?
10.
Well, guys, when I tell you Monday was a day, it was really a day. I recorded all of the audio for this clip here, and I then realized that I didn't have my microphone on at all. So what I'm telling you here is that this bread maker that I'm using was actually my great-grandmother's at one time. She purchased it, and I don't know that she ever used it. My grandmother never used it. My mother never used it, but it somehow found its way to me and became mine. And this pantry challenge has taught me that our homemade bread is 100 times better than anything I could buy from the store. So I will be using this very regularly. But here you see me putting first in milk, then I added the butter to it. And really, I'm still trying to learn this whole, science. But there's the yeast, flour, of course. And really, I am not the baker in my family, so take this all with a grain of salt. I will tell you that this loaf of bread came out delicious. It was so good, in fact, that I needed to make a second loaf for the day because everyone just devoured it. And I typically don't eat a lot of bread, just not my thing, but I really, really enjoyed this. So after adding the flour there, I made a little well. I put in the sugar and the salt and actually used garlic salt there and just set it and could forget it. So here we are. It's been, I want to say, a little about over 4 hours, and I've done nothing to this since throwing it in. Look at that. Our bread, fresh out of the bread maker. Just going to do the release, which is really hot right now. There we go. And see if I can have this come right out. Ooh, look at that. Fresh made bread. Took me like 5 minutes of active work, and this smells delicious. We'll be having some sandwiches on this later. Well, the hungry teenagers want a slice of bread, so 30 seconds after coming out of the bread maker, it's already time to slice into it. This will be gone before the day's over at this rate. That's from the paddle, the what actually stirs and kneads it. This looks so good. Well, I got to tell you, for someone who doesn't prefer baking, this was really easy to do. And oh, so good. Look at that beauty. It lulled me into a false sense of security, and my second loaf didn't turn out as beautiful, but it still tasted good. So, another fun fact about Monday is that we woke up to no water, and we had no water for 3/4 of our day. But everyone was home. It was a day off of school, and everyone wanted to be in the kitchen. So, here you have Angelina making her soup. This is a tomato based soup with potatoes, pasta, my canned Here is the soup.
cowboy roast
Pantry meal.
pork.
Potatoes,
It's super
canned
hearty.
pork,
It was so good. We ended up having it
tomatoes,
for lunch.
pasta.
And then, of course, we had some
Don't mind the
leftovers
steam.
for our dinner as well, which
Look at
saved
that.
mom from cooking.
Delish.
Since I didn't have to make dinner, I ended up deciding to make a dessert. Now, during the summer, I typically make what's called a strawberry pretzel salad. I know that sounds really weird and maybe like an odd combination, but I promise you it's really good. Typically, it has the pretzel crust with butter and sugar or brown sugar, and you just heat up the butter, the brown sugar, put it over your pretzels, and let it chill. It's so easy, crushed pretzels. And then on top of that, I would normally have jello and fresh strawberries with a like cream center of Cool Whip. But we are in the pantry challenge, and of course, it is not summer time for fresh strawberries. So I had to improvise, and I ended up making what I am now calling my tropical pretzel salad, and it was a hit. This disappeared, I swear, as soon as it was ready, it was gone. And what I did is I made the crust just like normal, as you see here. And then I put that in the fridge to chill. I whipped up the jello portion, which is 2 containers of jello, 1 cup of hot water. I used 4 cans of mandarin oranges drained and a little bit of pineapple. And then that was put in the fridge to harden. I obviously didn't have any Cool Whip, so I needed to improvise with the center portion. I used heavy whipping cream and a little bit of powdered sugar to make our own homemade whipped cream. And then I also creamed together some cream cheese with sugar, and I slowly and carefully combine the two to make a really light, fluffy, delicious center that could have.
We have our whipped cream cheese and then our Cool Whip. So we are going to slowly combine the two. Just going to fold it in. We don't want to lose all of that good fluffiness of the whipped cream, but we want to combine it. You know, I bet this would be really good just by itself, chilled with a spoon, or even as a really good fruit dip. I don't know, it just sounds like it would be really delicious. This has cooled now and is solid. We are going to spread this right over the top. And the main thing with this is that you want to make sure that you're basically like sealing off the bottom so that when you pour your jello over, it doesn't seep through and give you soggy pretzels, because no one wants a soggy pretzel. Looks good. All of the edges are sealed. It's clinging to the side, so we are going to transfer this now into our pretzel salad dish. So now this we are going to put in the fridge and chill. Does anyone else feel like they lived 3 days today? Because I certainly do. Today we had no water, as you've probably already seen. We made bread. Angelina made soup, which we'll be having as leftover for dinner. I have another loaf of bread going. We finally have water back, so just ignore the pile of dishes that is still behind me, and the dishwasher running and the washing machine running. And we're going to make some tuna salad for lunches for the rest of the week. So this is how our family likes it. You may hate this recipe, or you may love it and find it's your new favorite. But I will say, before this recipe, my oldest would not touch tuna. Youngest one likes it, oldest would not touch it. After this, she likes it. So here we have about 5 pounds of tuna. Obviously, I don't expect that you would have that much unless you have a large family. We're putting some sea salt in there. We are also putting some lemon pepper. Just a little bit, not a ton of the lemon pepper. And I'm not measuring any of this. I know it by sight. That is not the right seasoning. We are going to put a bunch of dill. Normally when I make this, I would use fresh dill. So this is dried. Some of this is from our garden. Some of this is purchased dill, but we like a lot of dill. So in goes the dill. I'm just going to grab the correct spice real quick. Ground pepper is what I wanted, and somehow I grabbed basil. So we are going to put some pepper. So next, from our pantry, we are putting in some of our sweet pepper relish. And sweet pickle relish from Aldi. Now this is our favorite one. Great Jerkins. Actually, this one might not. This is from Aldi. Yes, I'm sorry. This one is from Aldi. This is our favorite sweet relish from the store. The one that I canned is more of a dill relish. So we're just gonna mix this up, and then visually I'm gonna see if it needs anything else. But isn't this bowl adorable? I love these old Pyrexes. We've had these forever. And I'm really pushing my limits with the bowl as usual. So you saw today at the point of this that we made the bread, the soup. I feel like we made like 20 meals in this kitchen today with everyone being home and a sleepover last night. I mean, if you have teenagers, you know, the food just goes, just disappears. And it's not 3 meals a day, it's more like 6 meals a day when everyone's in the house. Yeah, there's always a busy kitchen and lots of dishes to go with it. So I'm happy that our water is back on. If I have celery on hand, sometimes I will mix some celery as well, give it a good crunch. And you can also add in here hard-boiled egg. Now, some in the family like the hard-boiled egg, some don't. So I just don't mix that in, and anyone can add that into their own as they're having a sandwich or whatever it is that they are having this as. But since I made that bread today, which is so, so good, and I actually have another loaf in right now because everyone liked it so much, I figured we needed some tuna salad to go with that. Is the third week of the pantry challenge, the Three Rivers challenge. And for week 1 and week 2, I did not spend any grocery dollars, zero. This week, I did buy a container of milk, which is not on this receipt. And today I went to Aldi. And up until this point, I said that my budget was going to be dedicated to dairy alone. However, my family has requested fresh vegetables. And when my kids ask for something, well, this makes sense. I haven't spent any funds up until now, like I said, and even this week with the dairy and the little bit of fresh produce that I purchased, we are still under our allowance that I have allotted us. So as you see here, I purchased kale, romaine hearts, mini cucumbers. I purchased 2 containers of cheese, sharp cheddar, mozzarella, and broccoli crowns, and then snacking tomatoes. Here is our romaine, our kale, cucumbers, mozzarella, sharp cheddar, flavor bomb, tomatoes, which can I just say I can't wait until garden season because these bad boys are expensive, and a little bit of broccoli. So I will say that I am going to edit my stipulations for our family for this grocery challenge. And that is ultimately the beauty of this being an individualized challenge to suit our own needs. Where I thought we would be lacking in dairy, we really are lacking more in fresh greens. And the environment in which we live, our growing area, we don't have a greenhouse, so this wouldn't be something that we could grow in the wintertime. And my whole goal always is to feed and nourish my family. So I will say that my $20 grocery budget each month is being edited. I'm sorry. My $20 grocery budget each week is going to be edited to be either fresh produce or dairy. And I hope you can all understand the evolution of what this is. So there it is. I only have the seed packet here to cover up my personal information. So again, $17.18 is what I spent on our little grocery haul from Aldi. And I don't necessarily know what next week will bring. We may not need to purchase anything, but you're about to see me make some delicious salad with what we got today.
Well, when I tell you all that my girls really wanted salad, it was no word of a lie. They wanted it so bad, in fact, they volunteered to do almost all of the chopping and prep for me to just have to assemble, and I took full advantage of that and got some dishes done.
Okay, so you just watched everything be chopped up for this salad. The girls wanted to help, so that's what you just saw. And now I am going to assemble everything. And this is a family favorite, but I feel like I tell you that about everything that I've made so far. But really, I'm not going to show you many dishes that are tried and tested and popular already. So here we are. This is my version of an Italian salad and antipasta. Call it what you want, do with it what you will, but we like it. So let's do it. All right, so like any salad, you need some greens. We do a mix of kale and romaine. Not going to use all of the greens that we got because the girls chopped everything up, but I don't want to use it all in one meal. So we got our greens. Then I'm going to throw in some red onion, purple onion, cucumber. Basically, we are layering in flavors. If I could keep it on the plate, that'd be good. We want some cheese. We have mozzarella and cheddar here. And the goal with this is all really like bite-sized pieces is what you want because you want to get flavor in every bite. At this point here is where I normally like to hit it with a little drizzle. Do a little balsamic drizzle. So that way as you're eating this, you're getting, like I said, flavor in every bite. A little of the organic extra virgin olive oil with the lemon infusion. I love this. I got this on a markdown sale at Sam's. I don't know if people just didn't know how to use it or what, but I wish I could get more of it because this was good. Next, we're going to hit it with some tomatoes. Did I mention how expensive these little buggers were? Can't wait until garden season. And we are still catching up on dishes from yesterday of not having water. So just ignore that dishwasher running nonstop in the background. Then gonna do our Italian seasoning right on top of those tomatoes. A little bit of salt and pepper, some extra pepper, and we are gonna take our meat. I do a blend of different salamis. I was so excited to find this in the back of the fridge. Thought it was already used up at Christmas when I did charcuteries, but this has a really long shelf life, and this package wasn't set to expire until later this year. So we are going to use it up. Then we have some Kalamata olives. Some Parmesan cheese. I'm only going to do part of it at this layer because I want to put some on the top. Coming in with some broccoli here. Now this, believe it or not, is a favorite of my kids, broccoli. I know a lot of people struggle with getting their kids to eat broccoli, but my kids, they love it. Now these are canned sweet peppers, our canned sweet peppers that we grew, sweet pepper strips, and these I just give them a rough chop for the salad again, so you get all of those flavors in every bite. I'm gonna come back in with some green olives if they want to come out of the jar. And yes, I'm using my hands for all of this. They are certainly clean and washed, and it is my family that is consuming it, my children that I birthed. Put on here some pickled red beet eggs. Now, if you don't know what pickled red beet eggs, they are just that. They are hard-boiled eggs that are pickled with red beets, vinegar, basically like a pickling brine, and everyone does them slightly different. I've come to realize that this really is a Pennsylvania thing. I pickle mine and keep them in the fridge, and they last for quite some time. Also, some pickled red beets on here. Also going to put some of our pickled cauliflower on here. I've already drained the brine, but look at that beautiful color. You have the cauliflower, and there's carrots in there. All kinds of good flavors going on to this. Right onto the floor that went. Okay, and oops, sorry, that was loud. We are also going to put on some of our Brussels sprouts. So I know, again, these look dark, but it is because of the balsamic dressing that they are, or balsamic brine, balsamic vinegar that they are cooked in. This is becoming quite a mountain of a salad. Things are just flying. So, but this will be devoured in no time. And these Brussels sprouts are so easy in the air fryer for, I think I did a total of 10 minutes this time. So good. And then for our finishing touch, some shredded parm right on the top there. So, I mean, really, like, how amazing does this look? This is a turkey platter that I used to assemble this salad, and it looks good. I mean, this doesn't even need a dressing, truly. You could do a little bit more of a drizzle of balsamic glaze, but all of the flavors in there, you don't need any. So there we have it, guys. I hope you can understand why we wanted some fresh produce in our life, because this is a beauty. Have a great night. Welcome to Wednesday, everyone, because I just filmed this part for you and realized that my microphone was off. So that sums up the day, because we have not one but two sick kids this week now. And I have to be real and honest with you. Normally, on a day like today, I probably would just say, let's keep it easy. Let's maybe order takeout. Let's, sit on the couch and comfy up and watch a movie. But I am committed to this pantry challenge. And I know two things. Number one, I am prepared. I have more than enough in our pantry to make a nutritious meal for my family. And two, that I can do it. And whatever I give them is going to be better than any kind of takeout that I would have ordered. So I have some steaks defrosting in the sink right now. I have some sweet potatoes that I'm going to peel and make in the air fryer. And I have some corn defrosting as well, some leftover corn in the cob that I froze instead of canning. And this is going to be a much more nutritious meal than anything I would have ordered for takeout, of course. So, like everyone this year, we just seem to be dealing with the never ending rounds of sickness. I think we can all relate to that, all my moms out there. And we're going to persevere, and we are going to get through this. And I'm going to get this sickness out of our house, starting with a home cooked meal tonight. So let's do this. And easy. And the way that I do this, I make it super easy. And actually, I'm getting out of order here. So we're going to put some Worcestershire on our marinating tray. We are also going to put some soy sauce, which apparently I have hid on myself. Found it. Some soy sauce. We are also going to put on here our seasoning. I am using the Kinder Buttery Steakhouse. I really like a lot of their blends. And we are going to do some, apparently Zachary wants me to put this on because he put it here, original dry rub. Not so sure about that, but we'll see. And a little bit of garlic herb blend. And then black pepper. Now, one of my tricks that I've picked up over the years, and fun fact about Zachary and I, is that we both worked in restaurants over time, never together, But if you have a piece of meat that needs to be defrosted, set that whole thing in some cool water and then keep changing out the water. It'll defrost it quickly. So there's that. I am making some fillets. Now, the way that we purchase our fillets is directly from a local meat market butcher, and they actually sell the whole beef tenderloin and they will cut it for us. So you end up spending a whole lot less per pound by buying the whole thing. And then I just either vacuum seal or put them in a Ziploc and put it away just like that. So these were defrosted. Then we also have here another thin sliced steak, not a fillet. So the reason I put all of my seasoning and everything down first is because I can literally just do that. Just put that right down just like that. And then I will season the top. I just want to wash my hands first before I touch my season. Ready? All right, so hands are washed and we're going to do the same thing, but on this side, a little Worcestershire. I've heard such funny pronunciations over the years, especially working in restaurants. Some soy sauce, garlic and herb blend. Now I already know before I post this, there's going to be some purists that say all you need is a little salt and pepper on your steak. Well, you do yours how you would like, and we'll do ours how we would like. I'm just sharing with you how we like ours. And if you've seen my spice rack, you know we like to keep it spicy. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to set these to the side to marinate probably about 20 minutes. All right, so somehow I always end up with a lot more than I anticipate. So that was 3 sweet potatoes. Apparently, as you see, they are pretty big sweet potatoes. And there are the last 3 sweet potatoes. Um, I get those from a local farm stand, which I adore. So I'm going to drizzle this with some oil. We're going to build lots of flavor here. So a little bit of our garlic infused oil. I got a lot of questions about this. I don't have a recipe to share of this for you, but Becky over at the Acre Homestead is who originally posted the garlic infused oil video, and I highly recommend her if you don't watch her already. I adore her. And they just had a little baby. So garlic oil, and then we're going to do some, again, Kinder's caramelized onion butter. Just put it on there. Don't be afraid of that seasoning. And we are going to do a little bit of the Kickin' Maple Honey. This is one of my favorite seasonings, and as you can tell, it is starting to look low. So on it goes. Don't worry if you get too much in one spot. This is going to get mixed up multiple times. So we're going to throw this in the air fryer at 425 degrees for 15 minutes. So all of that is in. I have my corn defrosting quickly on the microwave. I have my steaks marinating, and I have my sweet potatoes in. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, and then I'm going to throw the steaks on, and I'll bring you along for that too. All right, so I'm making an addition here. So we have our caramelized onions. Yes, this is a Rebel canning thing inspired by Rachel over at the 1870s Homestead. They're so good. She has a great video on these. And then I am going to do my Italian marinated mushrooms as well. So mushrooms and onions with the steaks. I'm going to heat these up. Pan is nice and hot, so let's do this. At the risk of being run over by my family trying to get to this, here it is all done. We have our sweet potatoes in the air fryer, our corn, we have one steak, 5 more fillets, and we have our onions and mushrooms. And I think I got this whole meal done in about a half hour of cooking time max. So there it is. See you tomorrow. Hi everyone, today is Thursday, so we've made it here. Isabella is still not feeling well, which this is Isabella. I know she's appeared before, but this is my youngest. And she wants to try and make some bread with me today. So she's going to be my guest baker, chef, creator. She's in charge. So she's got the mic and she's going to take over. Go for it.
Okay, so here we have milk, half and half, melted butter.
I'll hold it up.
Okay. Milk, half and half, melted butter, and yeast. So you always want to keep the yeast and the garlic salt separated because you don't want to kill the yeast. And so we have flour, sugar, and salt. So should I start?
Go for it.
So first you're going to put in the milk. And then the half and half. The butter.
And how did we like the bread that we made this week?
It was so good. And then the yeast.
Better than the store-bought stuff that we've had?
Very. And then you're going to stir it.
Just lightly. That's good.
And then, should I put it in the fire?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to put in the flour.
It's easier if you scoop it. Are you feeling better today, Isabella?
Yeah. Which is it? Flu A or flu B?
Blue.
Confusing. So how will salt kill yeast?
Salt just does kill yeast. I don't know the science behind it. I'm not the baker. I'm going to have to look into that now, aren't I? I've always heard that you're supposed to keep the salt separate from the yeast when you're... Go ahead, dump it. Alright.
And then you're going to put in the sugar. And last but not least, the salt.
Do you know what your measurements were for this recipe? How much you put of each?
So I think the milk
was
1.5 cups.
Nope, 1 cup of milk, a 1/3 cup of half and half. Both of those were warmed. 3 tablespoons of butter. 3 3/4 cups of flour. 3 tablespoons of
Sugar.
Yeah. 2 teaspoons of salt, and you were right, we used the garlic salt to give it a little extra taste. Seasoning, and the yeast We did 1.5 teaspoons.
Teaspoon.
Teaspoons. Yep. Okay.
Do I stir it?
Nope,
Or-
you don't have to stir it.
Okay.
I'm going to bring this in so they can see what we do next. You put your baking control to medium, just like you have it. And you have it set to normal and to a large. So all you have to do is close your lid and hit start. And then how long will we have bread?
3 hours and 20 minutes.
3 hours and 20 minutes. So thanks for joining me today, Bella. I'm going to say see you later. See you later, guys. All right, Miss Bella, tell everyone what's going on.
So, is it going to be this new video?
Here.
So,
What you have there?
so I have my bread. It's hot. So,
Gonna take it out?
yeah.
I think this looks better than
Oh
mine.
my gosh.
Don't touch it. Okay, we're gonna open it. I'm gonna pop it over for you.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, that looks good.
Hey.
Oh, it smells so good. It's warm.
I think it's better than my bread and
Oh, it smells so good.
So
Should I get it?
tell everyone what you got.
So I got my bread here. It's hot. But it smells like garlic and rosemary. And it's very warm. It's hot.
And do we want to cut a slice?
Yes.
All right, let's turn this a little bit so I can see. And we'll get this one. Do you want me to do it since it's hot, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
All right. Start at that end.
This here?
Thinking a little bit thicker than that so it doesn't crumble.
Right here? Like a...
I'll do. You cut, I'll hold. Yep. Saw.
I am.
I think we gotta work on your cutting skills there.
Well, I didn't hold it,
But
so I
look at
couldn't
that.
get it.
Look at that steam.
Whoa. I
Okay.
don't know if it's cooked in the inside though, since I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about it.
I think this looks really good. I think that might have just been a pocket.
Some ASMR.
Oh,
Oh.
look at that.
Wow. That's a lot of steam.
It looks delicious. Now we probably should have let it set for a few minutes and like settle, I guess you would call it. It's
More.
cooked.
Like, I mean, okay.
Okay, we have 2 special guests now for taste testing. Are you buttering it for Zachary?
Yes. Mom, are you going to try it?
Sure.
Cut it into.
But I like a little bit more butter on mine.
Pick whatever
Which
one.
one's mine?
Okay, just pick one. It's a lot of butter. Like,
You're gonna do it right.
that's good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I think you might have just signed yourself up to make all of the bread.
A+.
I don't think we're ever buying store-bought bread ever again.
I don't know why we ever did. Okay.
I'm definitely making this. We're taking this when we go Labor Day camping in the cabin. If we go to the cabin, we're taking this.
All right, you want to say bye to everyone, Pep?
So Thursday morning, Isabella had her time to shine and bake in the kitchen. and certainly Angelina couldn't be left out. So come afternoon, she decided that she was going to make bloomin' onion petals. So essentially, it's all the goodness of a blooming onion, but in petal form, which makes it much easier, much faster, and just, oh, so good. So this is what you see them working together here, chopping everything, and they did this all on their own and cleaned up after. It was a win. And Angelina learned something very valuable in this too. As you see here, she didn't have quite enough oil in her pan. So going forward, she will be doing more of a deep fry than a shallow fry. But man, we had oil all over the stove and she cleaned it up.
Bloomin' onion dipping sauce and onion petals, courtesy of the girls. Well, guys, I do not have anything exciting for you tonight besides that we will be having these leftovers. And that's it. It's a free-for-all. Time to eat them up before they waste. Hey, everyone. It is Friday. That means we've made it to the weekend. And if your week has been anything like mine, you're probably excited that it's the weekend. But realistically, Fridays are typically like one of my favorite days of the week because I'm done with my work week. In most cases, sometimes I work weekends, but most cases, Fridays, I'm done with my work week and I get to get excited about all of the things that we have happening around our house. Now, we have been dealing with 2 sick kids, and this mom's got the sniffles now, so I'm sure I'm next. But they are on the mend, and I am excited for the weekend. We're going to be doing some garden planning, hopefully getting our seed order in because we're behind just like always with ordering our seeds. But even if we didn't order any seeds, I think we'd be pretty good with what we have. We kind of might have a seed problem, like most people that enjoy gardening. So here we are, Friday. I am going to be making tonight some ranch chicken, wild rice, and green beans. And I'm going to do a little bit of like a food preppy thing where I am going to be making extra of the wild rice because I plan on making a soup either tomorrow or Sunday using the rice. So that will save me some time, cook once and have it twice kind of thing. Recently, I don't know, I'm sure if you're in homesteading, you probably watch Roots and Refuge and the amazing Jessica Sowards. She just recently had posted a video about like making food at home and cooking from scratch. And it just like really touched my heart. And I am excited that I am now starting to share all of my home cooking with all of you. So I'm happy that you're all here. Thanks so much for watching. And I really hope that you get something out of my videos. I am still learning how to manage all of the recording and the lighting and the timing and all of that. So I thank you for bearing with me and all of the growing pains that come along with it. I definitely think audio has improved greatly because I have this little guy here now. And I'm just really excited to have you here. I feel like I'm already chatting with some old friends and I'm excited to take you on the rest of our journey. So we have a lot in the works, and let's get to tonight's prep meal. So I went shopping. Just kidding. I went shopping in my pantry in the basement. Kiwi. Sorry, always dogs barking. And I have some things that I need to use up because I don't typically use them and I don't know what I was thinking when I purchased them. So we're going to do this together. All right, so fruit cocktail. I don't know about you. I don't know if it's just my family. I don't know what I was thinking when I purchased these, but we don't eat this ever. So I was researching some ways to use up what I have, and something that I came across was a dump cake, which who doesn't like a cake? And it's like a like a strudel, like a warm cinnamony, getting tongue-tied, cinnamony like thing. So we're going to try to use these like that. I'm going to give you my full and honest review of it. And already when I told my kids what I was going to try and make, they were like, oh, that sounds gross. So we'll see. Might be a hit, might be a complete flop, but we're going to try it. I'm going to be making wild rice tonight, and I love wild rice. Wild rice, though, by itself, real wild rice, is very expensive. So oftentimes you'll find a blend, which this is a blend, but I'm going to mix in a little bit more of the wild rice into it. And then I am going to be using this for tonight, as well as another night this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, for a soup. And I am going to be using my broth to make the rice. Give it all of that extra nutrients. Like I said, we have sick kids this week, so we need all of the nutrients we can get. And some of my, this is a very little bit of turkey in here, mainly broth and seasonings. And this is going to really season up the rice. So that's going to all go in there. And wild rice really takes a lot of liquids, a lot of water to cook. So this I'm going to be starting as I'm starting my dump cake. And then this will take typically at least an hour to cook. So I'm just going to do this slow. And then as we get closer to dinner, I will do all of the other things. But we are also going to have green beans, and then we are going to have the ranch chicken, which is basically thin filleted chicken breast topped with a yummy ranch seasoned flavoring Parmesan topping, guaranteed to always be moist chicken, made in the oven, delicious. So we're gonna start the dump cake. That's gonna be the first thing we do. So it just occurred to me that you may not all know what dump cake is. And basically what dump cake is you're dumping all of your ingredients into your vessel, and you are baking it. Or I've seen dump cakes made in crock pots too. So there's just so many ways to do this. And as usual, I am pushing the limits of my container here. But in the hopes of getting my kids to give this a try, I am going to jazz this up slightly. So here we have obviously our fruit cocktail that no one in my house seems to like. We're going to put a little cinnamon on it. And I have always been raised to use what you have. So here we are. A little bit of nutmeg. I'm just going to spread this out some. I'm probably going to overflow. Nothing new there. And then on top of that, we put either make your own cake mix. I am using up some that I already had on hand, but you just put it over the top. You do not mix it. Dump cakes are like one of the easiest desserts that you can make. And honestly, every time I make one, we're always like, oh, that was so good. We should do that more often. And then somehow I forget about it. Just gauging if I want to put more on there. And yeah, I think I'm going to. So second one. A lot of that moisture from the fruit cocktail is going to be absorbed into this. I drained 4 of the fruit cocktail cans, and 2 of them I left the syrup, which is a light syrup, so it's not extra sweet. And actually, the cake mix that I used is not sweetened either. So I am going to also put on here a little bit of brown sugar. I'm sure there's going to be someone in the comments coming after me for the sweetness of this, but that's okay. This is meant to be a dessert. It's meant to be a small piece. It's not meant to be a meal, and it won't ever be that. So brown sugar there, and then we are going to put butter all on this. Small slices, basically all the way around. So I would love to know from all of you where you're from. I've had some comments from people as far away. Now, just a reminder, we live in Pennsylvania in the United States, but I've had some comments from people as far away as France, which was super exciting. I had to use Translate because I don't know French, and also from Denmark, which I thought was super cool. I never imagined having a reach of being able to reach someone across the world. But I think that's amazing and the beauty of the internet that we have at our fingertips. So let me know where you're from. Let me know if you've heard of dump cake before, if it's something that you've made, if you like it, anything that you think I should try with it. If you are a fan of dump cake, maybe your favorite, I would love to chat with all of you. One of the reasons why I started our YouTube is that I feel like where we live, and us specifically, we lack community. There's not a lot of like-minded people that are into this way of life where we live, or that we've connected with. I mean, maybe there is an untapped community that I don't know about, but I see this as my little form of community. I can come on here and share all of this with you, can bring you all into my kitchen and have you sit at my kitchen island with me. And I think that is like the coolest thing. And I hope you enjoy being here too. So as you see, we have a bit of a mountain going on here, but really this is going to cook down. And typically a dump cake takes about 45 minutes, just pushing in the cake mix that has gone overboard here. Takes about 45 minutes to cook, but it's really done by sight to see how it is browning and crisping on the top. Think of like a cobbler. One of my kids' favorites of the dump cake is a peach dump cake that they actually make, and it's really good. So maybe we will have the same results with this, but I am going to get this in the oven. Sorry, that was noisy. I'm going to get this in the oven, and I will bring you back. And oh, actually, I almost forgot. So cinnamon toast crunch. This was a fun little seasoning blend that I bought from Sam's Club, I think it was. But I'm just going to put a little bit of this on the top as well. Again, this is a dessert. It's meant to be sweet. So there it is. And that's going to go in the oven. Okay, so moving on to rice. Like I said, this takes a long while to cook, so I'm going to cook this separate from me working on everything else. I decided I'm going to make 3 cups of the wild rice blend because I want to make it once and use it multiple times. Now, according to this, it's double the amount that you are putting in rice is what you need in liquids. So we are doing 3 cups. Now this is a 1.5 cups measuring. 3 cups of that. And I love these Lindbergh. I might be saying that incorrectly, but these packs, they come with like a Velcro, so you can hear that. Velcro closure. I don't know, little things amuse me. And I'm also adding some of the true wild rice in here. Now, according to this, I am just going to guesstimate about a 1/2 cup additional in there. With that, we are going to put in our turkey broth. See if I can get a good grip here. There we go. We're going to put in our turkey broth. So in that goes all of the good flavor and seasoning and just goodness that is in this is amazing. I'm always just like tickled pink when I open up a jar and it just smells like I just made it. It's a pretty cool feeling. So there's the turkey broth. And then this one is some pulled turkey seasonings and some broth as well. And I originally made this to be like a soup base, and which it absolutely will end up kind of being in this case. But for this is just going to give us such amazing flavor. And with this, I am also going to put in here the onions and mushrooms that we have left over from our steak meal this week. Again, all kinds of good flavor. And my hope is that with, let me get a spatula. My hope is that with all of this already fat and seasoning and goodness that is here, I'm really not going to have to do much to this besides set it and forget it, and it's going to do its own thing. So let me bring you in here to see this. Wow, my light is bright up there. That's quite the glare. But look at all of that. I mean, that took us what, 30 seconds to put it all together. So let's put this on the stovetop and let it cook down and do its thing. So full and honest review, this looks really good right here, but this was not a huge hit. And I will take full responsibility in that I loaded this up too much. I should have split this between two bakers and topped it like that. Now the ranch chicken here, on the other hand, is always a hit. And this is super easy to do. You just take some mayo along with some Parmesan cheese and some ranch dressing mix or seasoning blend of your choice. You basically mix all of that together. See my daughter here wanting to know when dinner is done. But you mix all of that together, and then you are going to top your chicken with that and a little bit of breadcrumbs, which Belle has right there for me, ready to go. And ultimately, something to remember, I laugh at this, is that my kitchen is just that. It's a kitchen in our home with our family. And so sometimes it leaves me to do these voiceovers because everyone wants to be in the heart of the home with their mama chatting away on a Friday night, and I can never say no to that. It's been a long week of sickness, and everyone is starting to feel better. I'm thankful for that always, and I will always enjoy my girls in the kitchen with me, especially when they are wanting to help and learn as well. This meal always has some nostalgia to it, as my oldest remembers this always. As she was growing up, or as she says, when she was a young warthog. But here I'm just sprinkling it with some fresh Parmesan on top as well, and some fresh cracked black pepper. It's time to charge up my grinder there because the batteries are definitely getting low. And then the breadcrumbs, as my assistant Bella there showed you all. So this goes in the oven uncovered at 350 degrees. It took, for the chicken that we used, I want to say it was about 30 minutes, but as long as you have a temp on your chicken, you want it to be around 165. And of course, I had to put a little dash of parsley to be a little fancy on our night. But really, it was so good. So here we have our ranch chicken, our green beans corn with a little bit of bacon in there, and our wild rice. This looks, that's super loud. This looks Really good. We're about to dig in. Welcome back to my crazy kitchen for Saturday. So Saturdays around here equal a lot of projects, a lot going on. The whole house is full and super noisy and busy today. So we are going to keep it super simple. I am making a crock pot soup. I'm going to bring you down and show you what I'm putting in. And like I said, noisy because my dogs are drinking water right on the other side of this camera. So let me show you what we're making. Into our crock pot, which is just going to live on my island, we are putting some broth, 2 things of broth, my Trinity soup starter. This has broccoli, not broccoli. This has celery, carrots, and onions and broth, and then this is something that I pressure can. So this is going to go in as well. And then I have my very last jar of onion broth here. This is made with onion scraps. So I love this, and I definitely need to make more. Also are some broccoli florets out of the freezer and some riced cauliflower. So we're using those up. So we're going to put those right in.
Our Saturday brought so much love and fun in our house, dreaming of the garden and zooming through all of the seed catalogs and getting some orders submitted, which I am so excited to share with you all. I hope you all had a wonderful Saturday as well.
All right, so as you see, we have everything in. I also put some garlic paste in here. And this is all just going to cook down all day long, make a really hearty soup. I'm going to put a little bit of ground black pepper in here as well. And just a little bit of Italian seasoning. Put that right in. Once it is cooked down, I would say for a good 3 or 4 hours, and then right before serving, I am also going to mix in some of the wild rice that I made yesterday and some cream and a little bit of cheddar cheese to give it a nice touch for a little broccoli cheddar soup. This is going to do its thing all day while we are busy with every other project that we have going on today. Happy Saturday, everyone. On high for a few hours now. It's pretty much come together. It smells really good in here. I am just going to put in some of our, put in the spatula apparently. I'm going to put in some of our cheese that we cut up the other day when we had salad. Also going to put in a little bit of heavy whipping cream. I gotta say, I'm really happy that at the end of December, the girls wanted to make ice cream, so we bought a whole bunch of heavy whipping cream, and that's really carried us through this challenge here. By the way, homemade ice cream is so much better than store-bought. Okay. So now that cheese is obviously going to melt down, and I am also going to put in here, pushing my limits as usual, some of the rice that we had left over from last night. Got to push it to the limit. All right, so now I'm going to just put the lid back on, let it come together again, and I'll bring you back when we're serving it. There it is. Doesn't it look delicious?
It smells like applesauce. Smell it. It smells like applesauce.
Hold on. Where should we put this in?
Smell it. It smells like applesauce.
Kind of. Oh, it smells like the sparkling grape juice.
I think it smells like applesauce.
You want to try a grape? Good.
Slimy.
So what do you think?
It tastes like applesauce.
Tastes like apples.
Yes, they taste like applesauce.
Okay, well let's see what this tastes like. A little really
Right?
good. So this is red grape. There, I need one for me too.
Is it good?
It's like liquid applesauce.
It does. But it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It kind of tastes.
Yeah,
It kind of tastes like Miralax too. I get it's that taste, that certain taste. But I like the grapes.
Well, that's so bizarre.
It's that certain taste that you know.
It's so like smooth tasting though. It's not like tart whatsoever.
It's thicker than I thought it would be.
And it has a really heavy like aftertaste of eating fresh grapes.
Yeah.
Right? It's good.
It kind of tastes like Miralax. What are you pouring?
I'm showing the camera. You have to have Lena come down and try it.
I don't have my phone. Should I call her?
Sure.
So there it is, week 3 in the books of the Threeriverschallenge, and here we are chugging along. But here's a little behind the scenes footage of Zachary and I doing our garden trimming at our kitchen island on a Saturday night, writing down more seed packets than we probably will ever need. But that's the beauty. No matter how hard the week is, we always have each other to lean on and